What's up, my people? I hope you guys are excited for another video and excited to see some car content. Today we have a crazy day lined up. Guess what just pulled up? You would not believe it. A Koenigsegg Regera. It's the first time I've ever seen one in person, and it's this kind of violet red carbon fiber accents with black carbon fiber exterior. It is absolutely insane. That's why everyone's piled up over there. But we got a bunch of other cars here to talk about. The Performante, DBS Superleggera, 765 LT. We got an A12, multiple AMGs here. It's just a crazy event, but the main star of the show is that Koenigsegg Regera. All right, guys, I'm sweating out here because the Texas heat is so hot. But here is one of my favorite cars at the show here. It is the McLaren 765 LT. I love this beautiful blue, light blue sky color with the orange calipers. I think it looks great. Honestly, how I expect the car. But this car packs a twin turbo V8 that packs 800 meters of torque, and hence the 765 LT name. Has 765 horsepower, and it's just a beast. 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. You check out the interior here. It's got carbon fiber accents everywhere. It's a beautiful car overall. I love the quad exhaust as well. But yeah, that's one of my favorite cars here at the show. Let's go check out some other ones. All right, next we have one of my favorite Porsches. I said it in the last video, the Gt2 Rs. It is the most powerful 911 Porsche has ever created. It uses a twin turbo flat six, makes 700 horsepower, something like 553 pound-feet of torque. But this thing is absolutely beautiful, and it's a track weapon, right? When it ran on the Nürburgring, it got the world record for the fastest production vehicle at the time. I think the SVJ took it back. Lamborghini took it back with the SVJ after the Gt2 Rs did it, but it is just beautiful. It has that 911-esque design that's so evident. Sorry, Evo Spider, Huracan Evo Spider just went by, but honestly, this color, I love it. I love the massive rear wing. I love the carbon fiber accents everywhere, and this red color makes this thing pop so well. It has accent red interior. But yeah, just a absolute bullet and a weapon on the track. And funny enough, right next to that we have a Lamborghini Aventador Sv, which is personally one of my favorite Aventadors, and if not my favorite Lamborghini. Funny enough, there's the SVJ right there, but to me, yeah, the SVJ is cool and all, it's fast on the track, but I think design-wise, and if you're going to get a Aventador, I think the SV is where it's at. It's cheaper, and it still has the aggressive design with its wing and the carbon fiber accents everywhere, and it's still very capable on the track. It's like in between the regular Aventador and the Aventador SVJ. But to me, all you want, the heart of the car, is that naturally aspirated V12. You slap an exhaust on there and the thing just screams then. It absolutely screams any Aventador. And that truly is the heart and soul of a Lamborghini Aventador and Lamborghini itself. So, yeah. Look at that car. Look at that car. Alright guys, so the Regera literally just pulled up. This is the first time I've ever seen a Koenigsegg, and it is just that thing is beautiful. Holy crap. for the big one.
The Koenigsegg Regera. So, what was this car designed to be? Honestly, Koenigsegg said it themselves. It's not to be a ridiculous track-focused hypercar like all their other cars are.
They focused, you know, previously Koenigsegg only focused on top speed, ridiculous acceleration, and the most stiff and aggressive cars they could build. But this is a mix, and Koenigsegg said it themselves on their website. It's more of a luxury mega car that still has that Koenigsegg insane acceleration and insane top speed, but it's a much more luxurious car. All right, and so now let's talk about the heart of this car. It's powertrain, and it's a very, very special one. This Koenigsegg Regera uses a 5-liter twin-turbo V8 coupled with 3 electric motors. 2 of them sit at each side on the rear axle, and the third one sits right in the direct drive transmission to fill the torque gaps that the twin-turbo V8 creates. So when you have those electric motors, it has the instantaneous torque, so the acceleration is quicker. Overall, and in combined, that system produces 1,500 horsepower, and the car weighs 1,400 something kilos. So it has a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio, which goes back to the point I made earlier. Yes, this car is made for luxury, but it still has insane acceleration and top speed. And one point I meant to make earlier is that this car actually packs a 800 kilowatt battery system, which is the most powerful of any production car at the time being when it was released. So it holds that record. And then on top of that, it has 220 horsepower, something like that, 220 horsepower per liter, which also made it the most powerful horsepower engine per liter. So again, it goes to that point that this car is just insanely fast. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the Gt2 Rs is just revving out there, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the direct drive system here that Koenigsegg implemented in this car. It actually, if you think of electric cars, how they don't necessarily have gears, the power is just delivered through the drivetrain system, and it keeps on going. This car is similar. Even though it has that V8 motor, the direct drive system makes the car much more efficient and actually reduces weight of the transmission something like 40%. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's really fascinating. And it has paddles on the back of the steering wheel. I'll get a shot of that later. But these paddles, the left one actually acts as a regenerative braking system, or electric regenerative system. I'm not quite sure, but it's some regenerative system with the electrification of the car. And the right paddle will actually, when you click it, it will clutch slip the clutch here, and that will act as a downshift, which spins the RPMs of the motor a little bit higher. So the car is actually not downshifting, but it will sound like it, and it will give that impression of a downshift, which is pretty cool, because honestly, if I was driving this car, I'd want a little transmission. I want to be able to control some sort of transmission to give it a sense of more feeling when driving the vehicle. So yeah. Another thing that my friend mentioned earlier about this car is that everything about this car is built in-house, which just attributes to that level of sophistication and exquisiteness in a way, and exclusiveness. There's only 80 of these cars as well. This one is finished in a magenta reddish exposed carbon fiber with these silver arrow accents filled in with black exposed carbon fiber. I mean, this car is just insane. And one of the first things that I actually realized when I saw it was it looks a little bit smaller than I thought it would be, honestly. But this thing is just so cool to see in person. I'm trying to soak everything up. One other point I wanted to make about the wheels is that these wheels are fully carbon fiber wheels. Koenigsegg was actually the first manufacturer, one of the first production car manufacturers to do this, to put this on their cars, but to put carbon fiber wheels on their cars. And these carbon fiber wheels save about 40% weight compared to a regular alloy wheel, which is another fascinating
point. There was the rear trunk going down. You can see the spoiler flapping on it.
It has an adjustable spoiler, but my oh my is this thing a beast. One of my other favorite features that just attributes to the symmetry of the car is the single pieced wiper that goes straight up the middle. That actually helps with aerodynamics as well, because when you have a wiper on the side, it messes up the airflow of the car, and so this keeps the airflow completely symmetric
when it flows down the car. But oh my, is this thing just beautiful.
Alright, so now we can take a little closer look
of the carbon fiber wheels I was talking about earlier.
So it's fascinating that they save 40% weight compared to a regular alloy wheel.
And there, I don't know if we can get a little peek onto the interior. You can't really see, but right there you can see one of the paddles,
The left one, which acts as the regenerative braking system. So yeah, it's just fascinating, all the different features of this car, how it's manufactured. And another cool thing is actually fitted with an Akrapovic exhaust.
You can see the Akrapovic logo right there. One would think that this middle piece is the exhaust, but no, it's actually these shark fins exhaust tips right here.
So yeah, I mean, this thing is beautiful.
Another one of my favorite pieces on the car is this swooping piece right here.
Definitely produces a little bit of downforce, but I think it acts more as of a design feature.
Gosh, it is just so freaking cool
to see this thing. All right, so now we get to listen to the sound from the Akrapovic exhaust of the Regera. Alright, so now we can take a little bit closer look at the interior,
and I can talk a little bit about the paddle shifters, what I was talking about earlier. So you can see the left one right there. Like I said earlier, it acts as a regenerative braking system when you pull it. And the right paddle, because of the direct drive transmission, this car has no gears, it doesn't shift. So what that right paddle does, when you pull it, it will create a clutch slip in the transmission, and this allows the car to feel as if it's downshifting, and it will send the twin turbo V8 revs a little bit higher up, so it literally sounds and acts like the car's downshifting when it actually is not in reality. It's a pretty neat party trick, and honestly, if I had this car, I would have it because I would want some sense of feel through a transmission, because when you drive an electric car, it's literally the same feeling. You don't get any feel of the sort of transmission pulling you, shifting through the gears, and that's one of the most fun parts about driving a car, especially one like this with all this power. Another thing I want to mention is how wide the carbon fiber monocoque is. I mean, stepping over that, you have to be extra careful not to scratch the carbon.
This is the funniest thing. So this is what a Koenigsegg Regera will do at a car meet.
You have a Lamborghini Aventador
Sv, the ex-Nürburgring King before the Black Series,
sitting right here, but no one is paying attention to it. Everyone is right circled around the Regera. I mean, you have tons of other
six-figure cars, $500,000 cars here. No one gives a shit, basically.
They all care about this Koenigsegg Regera, and rightfully so.
It is just a monumental car. All right, guys, I've basically shown you around the whole car now, talked about all the information and stuff.
Just want to take one last quick look of this beautiful thing before we leave. Get a little bit sneak peek more of the interior.
But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.